Now, Free State Black Business has called on thought leaders to participate in the creation of a draw roadmap for ethical and efficient business practices in the province. They believe South Africa's democracy has reached its early adulthood stage, and it is at this critical stage that the country should consider deeper conversations about leadership and black excellence. Free State Black Business CEO Lucky Motsamai joins us now to talk more about this. Lucky, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Let's start off with the issue of around ethical and efficient business practices. Do you still believe that there's ethical leadership within black businesses in the country?
Thank you very much for having me, Tsokofajo. Yes, we do believe that there's still ethical leadership within black business within the country. And we believe that, black businesses are at the center of leading, the whole movement towards, undertaking business in an ethical way and still, doing business, to grow the economy of the province. And, why we say ethics is really about that, particularly that's in the Free State, is to say, we need to follow a new sort of path right now, a path that not only say that we are in business and we are there for profit, as sort of a capitalist sort of intervention, but rather that we are there to make sure that as we grow within business, we also grow sustainably so the environment around us, whether it would be issues that we have to do with poverty alleviation, where there's issues that we have to do with job creation and so forth. But I think this comes because, we learned a lot from, the COVID-19 pandemic, that if we don't stand up as black business and try and, move into doing business in a different way and caring for, the entire ecosystem around us, we're not going to be in a favorable, sort of trajectory, when we have to make sure that we push the boundaries of transformation. So basically that's, what we're saying and what we believe in.
Now we do know that businesses were heavily affected by COVID-19. With you being in the Free State, what is the situation like for the black businesses in that province?
It's still quite tough, I must say. It's still quite tough because we're not out of the woods yet, as we all know. Still under lockdown, so it makes it a bit difficult for us as black businesses to actually recover from what has happened. It makes a lot of difficulty for us as a black business chamber, because the work of the chamber is to organize and mobilize black businesses and this is individuals, and it's difficult for us to have those networking sessions and platforms such as this under the whole ambience of the COVID lockdown. So yeah, it's been difficult.
And so we do know, you've mentioned the issue of businesses actually really getting into the communities, and we know that parts of the Free State are dealing with lack of basic services. What are the plans around issues such as those to work with government to ensure that people in various areas in the Free State actually are able to get the bare necessities?
I think that's why we are having this session, and this session is not just a session where we are engaging with government. Our guest speaker there is Prof. Bonang Mohali, who comes from the private sector, and he set a very good tone with the release of his book, Behold the Turtle. And this is where we want to now pitch the conversation to say, let's collaborate in a different sort of approach. Bringing government and bringing private sector and bringing SMMEs to see how best we can then, mitigate, these barriers. And because, development happens within communities, and we as business people are within communities. This is the tone that we want to set, to say, if you see that there's a problem with refuse not being picked up, can't we come together as neighborhood associations and try and help government, sort out, these little service delivery issues, and to the point where we can even engage larger sort of problems like maybe bulk infrastructure, water, and so forth, so that it's not only a government versus the communities, because the communities are the ones that put government there, but rather saying what is it that we can do as individuals, as businesses, as black business communities, to try and assist where we can.
What are some of the conclusions then that you are hoping to come out with, and solutions for communities, as you say that businesses form part of communities? What are some of the solutions that you plan to come out with from this conversation?
The nice thing about the conversation is that at least that government has come on board to partner to make it happen. So at least we know that our solutions will be heard. So we have a number of things that we want to table and propose. But because this is just what we'll call, for lack of a better word, a curtain raiser to what we want to do during the year, it is quite an important platform to allow us to do that. So these solutions would necessarily be public-private partnerships and so forth that we can get into with the different government entities, different municipalities, and so forth. So this is just a precursor to what we'll be doing during the year, both with government and the private sector.
And of course, will the smaller businesses also be able to take part in something this important so that they find ways to grow themselves and to grow the communities they're in?
100%. I mean, even the invitees to this event was not just black business or big business. It was a whole array: SMMEs, both black, non-black, and so forth. Government departments, municipalities, as well as leadership from corporate. So it's a whole mix. Hence, we say growing the economy of the Free State 2020 and beyond, a collaborative approach, because we believe in collaboration, and we find that this whole silo sort of approach is not working, where one is pulling the other and the one is pulling the other way. But if we can bound it in one sort of core, which is ethical leadership, we can find ourselves working together in harmony.
And so what then would you say? I mean, we've got some of the leaders with various businesses that aren't so ethical, that actually are corrupt leaders, and some of them possibly leading then to the situation that we are seeing in some areas of the Free State. What would you say to some of the leaders that may come there but do not have the same mindset that you have?
I mean, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to set the tone, and they themselves will see that if they're not part of this positive movement, this positive tone, this whole ethical sort of way of doing things, they would not be part and parcel of development, and therefore, they must get themselves ready to answer questions and account to the wrong things that they have been doing or have done. So that's exactly what we are trying to do. We're trying to show everybody that the Free State is ready for business, and the Free State is ready for business in an ethical way. So that's exactly what we're trying to get to. To those who are doing wrong, must understand that this is not the time. That thing is, we can't be doing such things anymore, and we are moving into a new sort of path where everything should be done the way that it should be done, so that the majority of the citizens of the province can benefit.
Free State Black Business CEO Motsamai, thank you so much for your